So why the wellness check? The wellness check is very important to me because every now and then I do tune out, and every now and then I get lost in my own thoughts, and every now and then I find myself not even connecting with anybody aside from just my family, my wife, my kids, my grandma, my mom, staying connected in that sense. But then I lose touch with everybody else. A wellness check is important because I know, for example, you, my brother, call me up at least once a week or send me a message. How you doing? Just wanting to check in. And sometimes that helps bring me back into, hey, I need to check in as well. And then also ask how he's doing because it's important. That's part of the wellness check. And it brings me back into reality. I thank you for it. And I think it's an important topic because sometimes a lot of us, based off conversations which I've had with others, they would make comments like, oh yeah, I haven't talked to anybody in a while. I get connected to other veteran organizations, where sometimes we just want to talk to those that we served with. And it's hard to just sometimes reach out or even connect. It could be because of a difference or maybe a misunderstanding or something, but the check is still important. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, brother?
It is important to follow, to check in with each other. There are moments in time when I completely check out. At least you stay in touch with the wife and the kids and your mom and your grandma. There's times I don't check in with nobody. Yeah, there's just times I tune out. I'll just tune out and I won't talk to people for weeks. There's times I go a couple of weeks without talking to my mom. And she knows when I go through stuff because I'll just tune out and she'll just let me be.
I think what I enjoy about the wellness checks that we have is like through a simple text. Basically, any one of our brothers that we serve with, of course, you're always welcome to join. We love the wellness checks. We text on a daily basis through one little text message. It could be a start with Kevin sending us something funny. Even if it's with our simple text messages, it's really appreciative because of the fact that like it could start off with a simple image of something that would make us start our day well. You don't necessarily have to respond. Of course, it's always appreciative. Every now and then, I do chime in. I also have an ongoing text with some friends that I had from high school that I know that we've seen and gone through a lot of things within our own life. And so I check in on them as well too, or even knowing that the text messages are still coming through. Those are important. Other things that are also important that for me are just like every now and then that message, the other day I received a message from Paul Stringer, which really uplifted my spirits during the time when I needed them to be uplifted, especially with his words of wisdom and encouragement. So I was really thankful for that message that came through. And I haven't responded because I've just been going through so much. Past few weeks, I've been dealing with some health issues. All of a sudden I have these chronic hives that came about, and I really didn't want to talk or deal with anybody or constantly explain to everyone that what was going on, repeating the story over and over again. So I just sort of chime out and only respond to those that I reached out to and or have reached out to me, but were like reaching out to me on like various times just to see if I was okay, because I did find myself in the hospital. Luckily, it was short-term stay, in and out, basically. Told me to take some medication, and that's something that's that I've been dealing with, and that's been on my mind too, settling down. Because I know in the next few weeks I go see an allergist, and I know what the recommendations are going to be. So I have a lot of thinking to do, I guess, from here to then. The wellness checks, going back to that, is important because I get to share that with somebody that I want to share it with. And it helps bring more clarity to those questions that were just probably eating at me inside. So it was just, I don't know. I was always told if someone writes to you, it's because they're usually thinking of you and it's for a reason. So therefore, if they write to you, therefore you reach back out to them and try to write back to them sooner than later. I'm one of those later guys, unfortunately, but I'm still trying to get better at being sooner. You were sharing before you left something or about how...
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
No, I tune out when I'm ready to talk. I talk. That's pretty much the way I've always worked.
I always found myself. I remember like just growing up in high school. or even in school, you had your friends that you always saw on a daily basis. And even like if you hadn't, like, not a lot of friends in high school, you still had family, you know. And like when the family would get together, like I would get super excited when my cousins would come over, and then we could all just check in. How you been? How things, you know, how your mom, how your dad? Oh, you have this, you have that. Or we would go to their house, and that would be the check-in. We never really would talk on the phone. That wasn't until later on in life. But even with that, like, I hardly check in even with my family sometimes, because I just get so overwhelmed with my own thoughts and trying to figure out the things of the day to day. So, including sitting in traffic, dealing with pain, trying to deal with distracting the mind just within that, because sometimes even the pain doesn't want me to talk to other people, you know. So if that makes sense,
even like with the long traffic, because I deal with quite a drive too, going and coming, especially, you know, coming back home. It's just there's days when I want to take a phone call, and there's days when I don't. Sometimes I just want to listen to a podcast. Sometimes I just want to do some carpoolist karaoke, and, you know, just sometimes I don't want to talk to people, but then sometimes there's this it'll pop in my head, oh shit, let me go check in on so and so, just real quick, just a quick message, just to see, you know, just, I threw the worm out there, let's see if they take the bait.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I do the karaoke thing too, even though I can't sing worth of nothing. But I still give it a shot in my own car. And there's times I get people looking at me being like, yeah, like right on. Sort of brightens up my day a little bit. But I also enjoy the silence sometimes, you know, just sitting in there and just hearing the traffic just pass me by, you know. And it's just different, I guess, as you get older. I don't know. I don't want to bump my music like I used to anymore.
Really? Oh, wow.
Try to be cool. Yeah.
I can't. The only time I drive in silence is if I hit a pothole really hard. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, shit, let me turn everything down and get quiet. Let me see if I hear anything. Or if something was really going on at work, like was really bad. And
yeah.
I don't want to hear a single thing.
Well, I think that was my case, you know, because I was dealing with a lot of that. I was just
talking. So I can understand the silence.
It was sometimes nice, and people didn't understand that. Or, you know, sometimes I would get as crazy as my wellness check sometimes would be turning on The Office, putting my phone onto the side and letting it play in the background just so I could hear it, you know, not even necessarily watching it, since I watched that thing so many times.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and now I could just listen to it knowing exactly what they're doing in my head, but it helps distract my mind from everything else. And I think that's part of like wellness, you know, taking care of yourself. I thought there was something desperately wrong with me just watching that show over and over again, to find out that there's a lot of people that actually have enjoyed it so much that they've watched it multiple times too. I find joy in it. The new one that I'm sort of pushing myself. So like Seinfeld, for example, like I've seen that show so many times. That's the one I'm sort of having in the background. I've had Cheers in the background, stuff that I've grown up with.
Yeah.
To help sort of bring my mind to a different time. And that's usually when I would, you know, try to find joy through humor, watching those kind of shows. But I don't know, that's part of wellness, and it's important. Wellness check though. I mean, try to think, like, I send you a video, and I think we're going to try to share this one if anyone's interested with it, or maybe if there's a way to. That video I send you when like you're a veteran and you're about to be discharged, and you're like, all right, man, I'll see you later. I'll call you back. You know, it's like that wellness check is going to happen, and then call me when you get home or whatever, you know, like that first week. So how's it been? You know, like, and like all of a sudden your life has changed and it feels so different. Like, yo, I've been resting. I've been this. I've been like realizing how much, you know, experience that you basically came out with from the military, and now you're transitioning to civilian life. I saw that video and I just couldn't stop laughing, but I'll be honest, I got a little tear because I remember that, like, that first week and a half or second week that I was out, it was a group of us. It was Francisco Estrada from El Monte, and then it was Jesus Cepeda and myself. We went to, I think it was Los Alamitos racetrack, and it was like, well, so what you been up to? I already had, my beard started growing out. You know, I was letting my hair grow out a little bit, like no more weekly haircuts. And they were like, man, you look different already, you know? And I was like, it's only been 2 weeks, you know, like I've been gone for 2 weeks before, you know? So when I was in, but just when you're out, it was different. And that the expectation was that we would check in on each other, but then life happened. And then it's like with us running into each other at Target every now and then and saying, hey, how have you been? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. But then freaking life,
Yeah.
I would say wellness check with a purpose, as well.
I like that. Wellness check with a purpose.
It's important because there has to be a purpose there should be a purpose behind it. It's to genuinely check in on wanting to know how that other person is doing, as well as maybe provoking a question that can maybe make them think like, hey, what can I do different to make me get myself out of this mindset that I need to be out of? Maybe they're just going through something and they just need someone to listen to. I know, you've done that for me multiple times. I could talk. I could talk.
That's the reason why you're co-host 1 and I'm co-host 2.
No. No. We do this together. But not even that. It's just that wellness check. I know that there was one thing that you were trying to eventually see this leading into like a community hiking or a community walking event where we could all meet up and just sort of do a wellness check face to face for those that are local in our community, and maybe starting something cool and genuine where we could actually see each other face to face, because sometimes it's not necessarily just about the phone call. Some other people need that
face to face,
or even that hug, hey, and or just that, hey, it's good to see you, I love you, man, we're in this battle together, we really are, let's keep on embracing this.
I could think of one person in particular that lives in Bakersfield where we can go visit him and go see what easy hikes are out there, just hang out for a session.
That would be pretty cool. I would enjoy that. And I know who you're talking about. I think a lot of people might know who we're talking about if we share this little specific amount. And I know he would be okay with that probably. So
probably.
Yeah. We almost got him on tonight, but unfortunately family life called and he had to take care of responsibility. So he couldn't be with us. But
yeah, maybe the next time we get together, we can give him a heads up like on a Thursday.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, we could just arrange something that way we can do something a little bit earlier, especially for our Midwest or East Coast people.
But we also want to share the opportunity for everyone to check in with us. Like, please, reach out to us. Our emails are on our Instagram. And also, many of us are linked on social media. So please reach out to us that way. And if you are following us on Instagram, just send us a message. We'll reach out. We make an effort. We want this to be a genuine thing here where we want to connect. So please reach out to us. And let's make this wellness check real, And
I'll throw the emails out there just for this, for podcast purpose. Monarca, MONARCA at chat62podcasts.com. Monarca at chat62podcasts.com. And for Martin Almanza,
Almanza, ALMANZA at chat62podcast.com. That's Almanza, ALMANZA at chat62podcast.com. Yeah, so just you have our emails. Reach out that way. We'll be able to connect, especially if you want to talk, more so than anything. Or if you just need someone to have a listening ear for you.
It doesn't always have to be recorded. We could take it off the recorder and we could just, we could just check in with each other. It doesn't have to be solely for podcast purposes.
With that, there's also other things that are out there that you could just get connected to that are within your local community or even online. There's peer support groups for those that need to find that connection that are out within your local community. So there are community things that are out there available to everybody, including peer resource workshops, which are basically they could be other veterans, like a family member of a veteran that will be hosting these support workshops. It's really big within all 50 states. Just in recent, New York and California have become the last two to become peer certified, where they allow people who have to allow their own experiences after going through a certification become certified under the state of California to be able to help organizations support in I guess, outreach and engagement opportunities for them, as well as them to connect to other people that are walking in a program that they might not feel comfortable about. And this helps them understand, hey, I also was in your shoes a few years ago, and I'm here to be part of your process of support, So a lot of time it's really respected and well received. Something to consider for those that are out there, a peer-to-peer certification. Just look online, Google for your own state and see what the requirements are. It would be helpful to look for other veteran organizations where you could play a supporting part to help other veterans that might not have that resource or that support that they might need out there. But it's usually a free certification course. It's like around 40 hours in total, but it's broken down within 2 weeks. And once you complete that, you get a certificate. You complete some hours now within some sort of organization. Mm-hmm. It could be a church or another. If you're already connected with the veteran organization, that might be helpful to help get your hours that you need to accomplish. And once you do that, you go do the exam for the state, and then the state actually gives you a nice, beautiful certification that you basically says that you're able to help those that are in need, and help guide them to the support that they might need, So it's very cool. A lot of people really don't know about it. I'm glad we're talking about it. Aside from the wellness check, what are things that you help with your own wellness?
I started walking the dog recently. Started walking Ozzy more often. He wasn't good with the leash, and I didn't realize the reason why he wasn't good with the leash is because he needed practice. Yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of back issues, so it's kind of been the monkey wrench. But he's getting used to being on the leash, and it's getting me out there to go walk, and you get that 30 minutes or whatever just to clear your head, or even sometimes it's just you'll get an idea that comes into your head. I just sent you a topic for a bonus podcast, and I was thinking about that on the walk. That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and it would be. It really would. Something we definitely could talk about.
The goal is to, I know we wanted to do the Malibu 5K. I know that's coming up in November. I don't know if you'd be okay to do that, given, what's been going on with you, or we might have to.
No. My goal is to do a 5K before the end of this year, so I need to sign up.
Yeah, these 5Ks, dude, all kinds of people walk, they run them of all shapes and sizes, ages, backgrounds, it's timed, but it's just timed for the runner's purposes, really, so you don't have to have that pressure. I didn't know that doing my first half marathon, and I think I was like the third to last. It was me, some really thick firefighter.
Oh, okay.
His nickname would have been the refrigerator, and some elderly woman. It wasn't that cool, but I had it in my head, I got to finish. They're going to be timing me. I didn't know what to expect, but the time is just a time. It's whatever it is. But I would like to get back to that point where I can start training, and I just wish I could just, it's that mental wellness too, is just trying to pull the nose up from, whatever we're going through, whatever I'm going through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I get it.
And living in Pomona now, I have more access to the hills over here, and I think I've only gone to Claremont Loop just once. But the goal is to do Claremont Loop with Ozzy. So it's 2.5 going, 2.5 coming back. So it's 5 miles round trip. That's a goal I would like to hit, by the time the fall comes around.
Yeah, I definitely see that happening. It will.
Yeah, even so much that I was telling my therapist about it on Wednesday. No, I think it was last Wednesday. I was telling her about it, and we were talking about doing up like a vision board. And I always thought those things were cheesy, and I just thought it was just something like these Gen Zers do. But I'm like, you know what? It's for something simple. Claremont Loop. How am I going to get there? All I got to do is just provide the roadmap.
Yeah, that's true. And you're so close.
Yeah, for reals.
Isn't there that Benelli Park that's also not too far from here? Where you could do like hiking or.
Yeah, Bonelli Park is literally on. It's only a couple miles away. It's right before. If it's right around where Fairplex is, where the Fairplex exit is.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm still trying to figure out the streets I live in. Bonelli Park is mostly flat. I've been wanting to take Jacob there to ride bikes, especially after the rain. I think that would have been fun.
Mm-hmm.
But now everything's dried up. It'd be cool to take him up and down there. Pretty much, for me, it's just, just trying to get myself back physically. And that's been a tough road. I'm taking more steps back than I am forward.
Sometimes I feel that happens, but it's a good reminder. Again, thanks to the wellness checks to help us bring us back to where we might need to be. Yeah, I know this past week, for example, you sent me a message just checking how you doing today, brother. And I was like, my eyes were still itching so bad that I was like, I'm fine in my head, but I never responded back. And then today was the first day I responded back to you after the 4th of July, and then dealing with everything else for, still working the next day, and then coming home to making sure my kids are doing, or my young adults are doing the things that they want to do, and taking them, example, the Anime Expo that's going on in Los Angeles right now at the convention center. And then also they wanted to go to a Dodger night that was an animator was did a special baseball card edition of some anime characters.
Okay.
And then they did a drone show based off those anime characters at the end of the game. So that was pretty fun, but I got home really late and it was exhausting after driving the night before, pretty long distance to get my son to make sure that he was going to be back with his friends. And of course, one of his friends as well, too, that went with him camping. We brought him back and made sure that they were all there on time. Had a great time, and yeah, we won't get that. It's just a memory, now that I'll have.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool. That's a wellness check thing too, just.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that drive, as far out as it was, I'm sure it's probably a beautiful drive too.
Well, I was at nighttime.
I was at night. Oh shit! So it probably made it really scary.
Well, it was because we got lost because GPS was taking us through the hills and literally got us lost. But not just that, it was beautiful because we were actually driving on 4th of July going up towards Lake Gregory, and all the fireworks that we just saw on the road. It was just amazing. Some of them were just, wow, how are these even legal here in California? Which we know they're not, but it's just really cool, because we got to see all the sky lighting up with all these beautiful fireworks popping up in the sky. And what was cool was at one point we were able to just start seeing the city as you were driving up more, and you were getting higher and higher above it. And I think at some point you're like at 4,000, 5,000 feet above sea level. You could look off to the city and just see all the fireworks going off. And then we continued our drive. Yeah, it was, we didn't want to stay out later if we didn't need to.
I just looked up Lake Gregory. It's a 44-mile drive from where we're at right now. Oh, wow. That's cool. I know Jacob stayed in Wrightwood when he did his science camp a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah. They have a science camp up there, too, but it's, I don't know. I would think it's pretty cool. But
oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
They even have a recreation area. Like they have a obstacle course I was sharing with you on the lake. That's an experience in itself, especially for someone like me who never saw something like that growing up and driving past the lake saying like, what is this? And of course, not being able to do it now because it's just an obstacle course that I don't think I want to get myself in the middle of, especially stuck in the middle of.
That looks like the way I pictured it was from that one show on ABC7. What is it called? The one with the obstacle courses in the water.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what it looks like. Wipeout.
Wipeout. There you go.
Wipeout. That's exactly what it looks like. And that's why I will never probably do it because I don't want to hurt myself more that I don't need to. No, it's not that. It's just
it looks excruciating, It looks very painful if you get hurt.
Lake Gregory, that's where that one's at. But other than that, it's a small little community that's very beautiful. Crestline area. We were fortunate just to drive up there, and while we were up there, we heard some owls in the distance. We rolled down our windows for a while just to breathe that fresh air. It was a
nice few little hour drive just to get to and from, and to accomplish the things we needed to, but it was worth it. And I was just thankful for even the coolest thing is when like I don't have what is that satellite radio, the XM, Sirius XM.
Yeah.
But on certain holidays they give it to you for free. So like they gave me a station this past weekend, and I was like enjoying it because it was just all peaceful music, you know, and it helped out. So I was very thankful for that. But other than that, I think I don't know, at least for myself, knowing that when I sit in traffic, the conversations do help. And therefore, that's why I'm fortunate I'm not sitting in as much traffic anymore like I used to. But I still like to do the wellness checks. So with that being said, I just want to throw it out there. Reach out to me and Brother Eric here, and we'll make sure we chat. Thanks for tuning in to today's conversation on wellness checks. Remember, taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. By prioritizing wellness checks, you're investing in your overall well-being and taking a proactive approach to managing stress, anxiety, and other challenges. Don't wait until it's too late. Schedule your wellness check today and make it a regular part of your self-care routine. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional for support. Together, let's break the stigma surrounding mental health and encourage one another to prioritize our well-being. Thanks again for listening today, and don't forget to take care of yourself.
Brothers and sisters at arms, are you struggling with your mental health? You are not alone. There is help available. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is there for you. Call or text 988 to connect with a trained crisis counselor 24/7. Do not hesitate to reach out for support. You are strong. You are loved. Semper Fi.